Hi, I'm Pastor Deb, and today we're going to be talking about Romans 12:2. Do not be like the world. And I love this verse. So read with me in Romans 12:2. I'm reading in the NIV version. Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Like I said, this verse is one of my favorites, and it's jam-packed with so many things to help us understand how to not be like the world. And the first key truth in that is to avoid conformity to the world. It says, do not conform to the patterns of this world. Well, as we know, the world loves to promote values and tell us what kind of attitudes to have. The world tells us what culture accepts and doesn't accept in our behaviors. However, as Christians, as followers of Jesus, we're called to be counter-cultural. That's not easy. That's really hard. And it requires a depth within us to stand strong, to be counter-cultural to the world. So, in a practical way, during this fast, how do we do that? Well, I would encourage you to consider, maybe for the rest of the fast, if you're not already doing it, turn off social media. The hours we spend scrolling through TikTok videos or stalking our friends, whatever it is that you're doing, it consumes your mind. And you know what social media tends to do is it causes us to begin to compare ourselves to other people. We tend to put ourselves down because, oh, my life doesn't look like that person's life. Oh, I'm not rich enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not accomplished enough. So if you don't want to be like the world, then I encourage you this fast to try to do something different and maybe turn off your phones for a while. Second thing is that we're called to be transformed internally. The verse says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, transformation actually is this internal process. And I hate to be a bearer of bad news. Sometimes I am accused of being Debbie Downer. But I need to let you know that transformation takes a long time. You have to work at making sure that you have created rhythms within your life, rhythms that are healthy, rhythms that are spiritually defined. So if you want transformation to happen, I would encourage you during this fast. The fast is actually a spiritual discipline. Practice some other spiritual disciplines and take time for those. The next thing this verse says is renew your mind. Renew your mind through God's word. This is, again, a spiritual practice that'll help in that transformation process. And I love this verse to tag along with it, Philippians 4:8, as a filter. Focus on what is true, noble, right, pure, and lovely. And then lastly, discovering God's will. That's another way to not be like the world. And this verse is asking us to be spiritually in tune to the Lord. Again, it takes time, but in my own life, I've had to make hard decisions. I spend the time with the Lord, and sometimes it's years before I get the answer. But as I put it before the Lord, he gives me the strength, and it helps me in the waiting to learn how to be patient. And that is all going to help you become more like Jesus, which is our goal, so that we can take his love and hope into a very broken world. So I encourage you this fast, stay strong, keep committed, keep doing what Jesus has asked us to do. I love you, church.